Hey guys, Burnished here. Today I'm bringing you another Warzone. This is Voidstar. I'm playing on my Jedi Sage. If you want to see my spec, check the link below. And also my spec is what I want to talk about today. So I'm not going to be talking about the gameplay necessarily. I'm going to be talking more about the patch 1.2 and the changes coming to our Sages in this patch and how our damage will be nerfed pretty significantly, and the death, I'm afraid, of hybrid spec. And I'll go more into that as it goes by. Just a quick thing for all my subs out there. Yes. For those of you who do not understand what that sound is, that is the Razer Black Widow. I finally managed to buy one with that YouTube money. And, well, half of that YouTube money. Never mind, you get the point. Yeah, I want to sort of brag about that. I'm, happy about it. Anyway, we're going to be looking at the changes to Sage in patch 1.2 and pretty much the death of hybrid, as I already said. So let's have a look at the changes. General for Jedi Consular. This is affecting both Shadow and Sage at the moment. Deflection visuals are now more noticeable, and the Unity ability has been removed from the Jedi Consular class, and a similar ability can now be unlocked through the Legacy system. So the Unity ability, which was basically where you could, I think it was heal your companion and yourself for 50% of your life. And it had like a 20-minute cooldown, I believe it was. Basically, that's being removed and it's going to be replaced by something else. No word on what it is yet. Pretty much only useful for leveling, so I don't really care that much. Force slows visual effects now begin and end at the correct times. Useful, maybe. Let's go on to Sage now. Due to the changes to Sage skill trees, Sages have had their skill points refunded. So that basically means that they are mucking around with our skill trees, and they will return all of our points when the patch comes out, and we'll be able to do what we like with them and create our new specs and all that stuff and all that good stuff. Next change is corrected an issue with Force armor that prevents his appearance from refreshing, blah 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 blah. Animation stuff, no one really cares. Rescue now modifies threat by the correct amount, very useful for PvE. There's a big list of seer changes, so if you are a seer viewer or any other class spec at all, check the link in the description below, and I'll provide a link to the patch 1.2 changes, so you can go check them out and yeah, decide for yourself about your own class. But this is going to be about Sage's DPS spec pretty much only, and yeah, I've already said most of it. So we're going to telekinetics. Inner strength now correctly affects weakened mind, which is actually a buff, slightly towards balance, well, pretty much towards balance, pretty much meaning that our weakened mind is slightly stronger, or unless inner strength is the force reduction. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's not that big of an upgrade. Sort of helpful still. Now we go on to the main bits, and this bit is the scary bit. This is balance, and critical kinesis now increases the critical chance of telekinetic throw and disturbance by 3% per point. Previously to this patch, it was going up by 5% per point, so that's 4% reduction at 2 points, which is what usual specs go into. So that's an overall decrease in DPS. Empowered throw now increases the damage dealt by project, telekinetic throw, and weakened mind by 2% per point. This again is a decrease. You put 3 points into this usually, and this will give you a 6%, whereas before, previous in the current patch 1.1.5, it would give you 6%, 12%, sorry. So that's pretty much a damage nerf as well. And now we get to the death bit. Brace yourselves. Presence of mind now affects disturbance and mind crush only. Yeah. I'm just going to take a minute's silence here. Nah, I'm just joking. Basically, for those of you who don't play Sage DPS, this is an extreme nerf to hybrid and will pretty much kill the spec, and I'll tell you for why. If you ever watch any of my videos, or if you're watching this video right now, you will see me using an ability that was on my #1 key next to project, and that is telekinetic wave. Basically, it's a big blue burst of damage and nasty stuff that does lots of damage and will kill people, and This is in the telekinetics tree. It's never actually been intended for balance users to use this ability. Basically, how hybrid spec worked and how it's so good was that we got a skill, talent skill that was called Presence of Mind, which is when our telekinetic throw, we have a chance to gain Presence of Mind buff, which means any force attack will be instacast when you get this buff. So, you know, some people thought, I know a way to cheat the system, and they basically went into telekinetics, got telekinetic wave, and so you could instacast telekinetic wave freely at people. It does a ton of burst damage, and it's really nice to combo in after putting all your dots on them and then doing a telekinetic wave on them. It will pretty much destroy most targets and is very, very powerful. Also, pretty much getting you the 2.5k hit medal anytime as a Sage. So yeah, that's pretty big positive there. So as you can guess, being able to only use Mind Crush and Disturbance will pretty much mean the end of telekinetics hybrid. Reason why you went hybrid in the first place was simply because of telekinetic wave. There was maybe one other talent that would be worth it going into telekinetics, but without telekinetic wave, it pretty much made it useless to go hybrid. You weren't getting the DPS advantage of the other specs. So this basically leaves you with two options now. Option number one is to go back to the usual specs. That's the 31 pointers in either telekinetics or balance. Personally, I'm going to go for the 31 points in balance. That's just my personal preference. I prefer dots over burst damage. But yeah. And the second option, which a lot of people have been theorizing, which I don't think is valid. I doubt it will work. I'd be amazed if I saw a sorcerer using it on my server, a Sage rather. But I really do not think that is going to work properly. And what it is you still go hybrid and you get telekinetic wave, but you also get the talent above it. Now the talent above a telekinetic wave, basically your disturbance has a 30% chance and your force earthquake has a 10% chance to grant you an insta telekinetic wave. And telekinetics peoples use this quite a lot because they want to get the most burst damage out. So you do your 31 pointer ability, then you spam off disturbance until you get the insta telekinetic wave. So what the plan is here is to use Presence of Mind to cast disturbance, get the proc off disturbance, and then get your telekinetic wave. This is quite good for burst damage because you're getting an instant disturbance as well as the telekinetic wave, which should equal out some pretty nice damage. The only problem I find in the spec is that it doesn't seem that worth it. The DPS boost that you'll gain from this is it's about as good as hybrid spec before the nerf. However, it's fluctuating, and that's what I do not like about it. You only have a 30% chance when using your Presence of Mind disturbance combo to get your telekinetic wave. To get your instacast telekinetic wave, you only have a 30% chance. So I do not want to risk dying for that 30% chance. For example, if I'm going 1v1 against someone and I use disturbance on the Presence of Mind proc and I don't get telekinetic wave, that's an insta 2k 2.5k drop in damage that you just can't really go out with in a 1v1. Anyway guys, that's just my thoughts on this opinion, on this matter. Go check the links in the description. I'm sure I've made like a bunch of them that I'm going to kill myself for mentioning now in this video. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.